Hello and welcome back to Fashion with Sought Out YouTube channel. How we all doing? And in today's tutorial, I'm going to be taking us through how to cut and sew this beautiful civic wedding dress. I am sure it's something you will love to learn, and if it's something you are love to learn, let's get going. So guys, to achieve this project, I made use of 3.5 yards of Mikado material. I also made use of 3 yards of satin and then some net. But let's get started by first drafting out our pattern. I'll start by marking out the back circumference, which is 14 inches. I'll divide it by 2, that's 7 inches, and then mark out the 7. Coming back today to mark out the neck width. The neck width will be 3 inches, and then from the 7 inches I'll come down by ½ inch and then connect to make the shoulder slant, right? So I'm connecting it with my ruler, and this is the shoulder slant, right? So I'll go ahead and mark the other verticals on the dress. Okay, so we have the chest line, which is 8 inches. I'll mark 8 inches over there, and then the bust point is 9.5, and then the under bust is 11.5 inches. Then we have our half length as 13.5. I'm also going to go ahead and add 2 inches extra as our sewing allowance. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and make a straight line on the vertical points that we've marked out. Now coming back to the chest line area, I'm going to go ahead and mark 7 inches. Okay, so this is just to connect our armhole line. I'll take my ruler and connect the 2 points together right away. So the next thing is to find the midpoint of the line, which is 4 inches. I'm going to mark 4 inches and then come out by ½ inch, and then take my cuff ruler to connect the armhole. Okay, you see the way I place my ruler. I'm connecting the cuff to the the ½ inch extension we have outside. So this is for the front armhole. Okay, so I've connected the points, and then we have our armhole ready. We'll go ahead and mark our gap line to get our dart. Now the darts, the gap measurement is 7 inches, right? So I divided by 2, that's 3.5, and then I added ½ inch to it as sewing allowance, that's 4. So I mark 4 inches all the way, right? So I'm just going to take my ruler and connect all the points like so. Okay, after that has been done, see, you can see the way it is. I stopped at the bust point. Okay, so I'll go ahead and label all the lines I have there. I have the chest line, the bust point, I have the under bust length, and then the waist length, and then the allowance. Okay, so that we'll know what we are marking. Coming back to the under bust area, I'll mark 1.5 inch inward and 1.5 inch outward. All right, I will then move to the waist area and mark 1 inch inward and 1 inch outward. The same thing on the allowance. Then I'll first connect the waist point to the allowance area, which is the 1 inch. The same thing I'll do on the other side, and then I'll connect the waist point to the under bust points, the 1.5 we have on the under bust points, like so. Same to the other side. And then the next thing we are going to do now is take the cuff area and make a connect of the point of the under bust area to the bust points, like so, right? We are actually using a princess dart, and that's why we are having it that way, right? So I'm going to connect the other side too. And so the next thing I'm going to do now is come over to the center area, okay, the folded area, and then mark 0.5 all the way. Remember, the style has like a net and illusion part at the chest, at the center of the dress, and that's what we are marking out. That's why we're marking out the 0.5. By the time it's opened, because it's on a fold now, that will be 1 inch. Mark 0.5 all the way. Coming back to the neck area, because it is a turtleneck, I mark 3 by 3 at the front area. So 3 inches width, 3 inches depth. I'm just going to connect it like so. Next, on the next circumference, I'm going to take my tape rule now and also mark the 0.5 over there, so that we can make a straight connect of the points. So we are going to have the center like so. I'm going to connect the lines, and that will serve as where the net will be. Okay, so I'm going to connect the point, and so we have it. I'm going to go ahead and label that part, and also go ahead and shade out the dart area, because it's going to be cut out. Next, we'll come to the armhole area and find the center of it. Okay, so we have 9 inches over there. The center, the midpoint will be 4.5. So I'm going to mark ½ inch upward and ½ inch downward, or from the center, and then I'll take my cuff ruler and connect it like so. Remember, I said we are making use of a princess dart. Okay, so that's the upper point, and then the lower point will also be drawn out, but this time around there will be a little extension, such that we will be able to make a new armhole over there, in order for there not be such shortage. Sorry guys, in order for us not to have shortage while joining the fabric. So I came out by 1.2 over there, and then I will take my ruler and make a new armhole cuff. Next, I'm going to go ahead and impute all the body circumference. In getting this done, all I did was to divide all the body circumference with, like, the bust. The bust is divided by 4, and then I added the allowance points, and then 2.5 extra for sewing allowance, and that was what I did to all the basic circumference. I'll go ahead now and connect all the points, and so we are done with the basic body patterning, right? That is for the upper part of the front. Now we'll move to the neck area. On the neck, remember there is an illusion net on the neck. There's a net, rather there's a net lace part on the neck shoulder area. So for that, on the neck area, I'm going to mark 2.5 inch like that, and come back to the armhole area and mark 3 inches. I'll connect the 2.5 points on the neck to the 3.5 inches on the shoulder area like so, and that will serve as the net yoke on that shoulder area. So we are basically done with the front, and then I'll go ahead and cut the whole thing out. So guys, that's all to the front. Now we have the center area, the sides area, and then the net area, which is on the shoulder. Do you see the placement? We'll go ahead now to the back. For the back, I've drawn out the basic line, and that's our zipper area. The back also, we are making use of princess dart, so we are going to mark out our gap area, which is 3.5 inch, like I said, plus ½ inch sewing allowance. That's 4. So I'm marking 4 inch all over there, and then I'm going to make a connect of the points in a straight line. Now the next, we'll go to the armhole area and then make a connect of the armhole, like make the armhole curve like so. Next, we'll go ahead and find the midpoint on the shoulder line, okay, which is 4 inches, and then we'll connect it in a slant, in a curve way. It shouldn't be too curved to the points, to the bust point area like that. Remember, I said we are using princess dart for the back also. Do you see? And we'll come to the waist area and mark 1 inch from the line. You get? Okay, so this is to avoid bulging over there and to make the zip to rest well after it's fixed. Okay, so I'm just going to connect from that point to the upper area like so. Okay, only from the waist area that I removed 0.5 because initially the zipper allowance was 1.5 inches. So I came in, I removed 0.5 over there, and that's how we're having it that way. Coming also to the waist area at that point, I'm going to come in by 0.5 on both sides, like so. So 0.5 at the right side and 0.5 on the left side. Then take our ruler and connect the 0.5 to the bust point area, like so. Okay, this is to give a good and perfect resting on the dress. So I'm going to connect it that way and extend it down to the allowance area, like so. And so we are done with the back also. All we need to do is impute our body circumference, which will go ahead and fix like we did to the front. So to all our body circumference, we are dividing by 4 and adding 2.5 sewing allowance to it. Went ahead and connect the point and then cut it out. Then we'll move to the neck area. Now on the neck, because remember I said is a turtleneck, so for the back we are marking 1 inch depth and 3 inches width, just like we have at the front. So I will connect the point together and then extend it to the zipper area. Now coming to the shoulder area, just like we have the net area at the front, I'm going to mark 2.5 over there on the neck, also like we have in the front, and then come to slant it all the way. On the shoulder I mark 3.5, just like we did at the front, and then I will connect it together like so. So that's the net area for the back. I'll go ahead and cut the whole thing out. So now we have both the front and the back upper parts ready. Okay, so that's our back and then this is our front. We'll set it aside and cut the tan part of the dress. Now I've gone ahead to cut out the fabric, the mikado. We'll go straight away to impute our body circumference. The waist we are using is 27 inches divided by 4. I mark that out and then add 2.5 extra, 2 inches rather, extra inches for sewing allowance. For the hip area, the hip length, I marked 6 inches from the waist as the upper hip and 9 inches for the lower hip. I then I drew my tape rule up to get the upper part, and then from there I marked the nail length, which is 31.5 from the shoulder length. Okay, so the hip we are working with is actually 32 inches, which I use in folding the fabric. I just added 2 extra inches to it, and then I'll connect my hip to the waist area like so. Coming to the nail area, I went in for us to have it tip like it is in the picture. I went in by 2 inches, and then I'm going to make a connect like so. Okay, so I connected the nail area to the hip like so. Okay, so we have it copied that way. Now at the hem area, I'm also marked out 2 inches, which I'm going to connect to the nail area like so. So that is that for our down part, the skirt part of the dress. I'll go ahead now and cut it out. Now, just like we have it on the upper part, in order to have the zip knot to bulge and also to have the hip area shapy, I'm going to extend the line over there, and then at the hip area, I extended the line out like so, so that we'll know the right place for the zip, and then come in by ½ inch on the waist area, just like we did to the upper part, and then I'll take my ruler and connect it like so. At the slit area also, I came down by ½ inch. Okay, so I'm going to connect it that way like so. So this is just to make the skirt shapy and the hip area hippy, if there's anything like that. So I'm just going to connect the points and then we'll cut out. I went ahead to use this to cut the lining, which is the satin. I've also gone ahead to use the patterns to cut out both the main fabric and the lining. Remember I said I'm using satin as the liner, so we have it. Also, for the center yoke, I've gone ahead to use that to cut it. Remember, it was 0.5. I added extra 0.5 allowance to it as a sewing allowance. And for the net on the shoulder, that's the back and the front, I've gone ahead to cut that out also. Now to fix the front area, this is how we have it. I've gone ahead to cut the wording, and these are the two sides. Okay, so I'm going to fix it differently, and then the lining also, I'll fix both the side and the center, and then I'll come back to show you how it came out. After fixing it, guys, this is how we have it. You see the net area and the way it came out, right? I'll go ahead now and fix the shoulder area to it, the net over there. I'm going to fix it to it. So for the net, is actually a bridal net which has a front and back. So this is how it should be on it. To fix it, I'm going to position it this way by facing it down like so, and then the right side facing the right side of the dress. After joining it, guys, this is the way we have it. Okay, so I'm going to open it this way. To fix the lining, I'll take the lining, fixing it side by side. Remember, the center net should actually be an illusion net, but because the person don't want it open, that's why we use the brighter lace. But to fix the net, the lining is actually the same way. So what I'm going to do now is start the fixing from the center, like the way I'm holding it. You just fix it to the side of each other. After fixing it, guys, this is the way we have it neatly came out. Then for the down part, this is the way we'll fix it. I'll place the Mikado on the right side of the upper part like so, and then fix. Then for the lining, I'm going to place it that way to cover up the sewing. So it's an in-sewing actually. So I'll go ahead and join the two sides, the front and the back, the same way. After joining it, guys, this is the way it came out. We have it like this. That's the inside, and this is the outside for the back and the front. You see it came out neatly well. I've also gone ahead to join the shoulder area, and this is the way it is. So right away, we are going to go ahead and to cut out our the turtle neck, right? But to do that, we are going to first of all get the measurements over there, what we have over there. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure it all the way around like that, so that to have an accurate direction on what to cut out. So over there I have 21.5 inches, which will serve as the turtleneck. So we're going to go ahead now and draft it out on a pattern. So I have my paper here folded into 2 and then again into 4, just like we fold our peplum, right? I'm just using that so that we won't easily forget anytime we want to cut a turtle neck. Okay, so I folded it into 4. Now for the upper part of the neck, I actually need like 20 inches. Okay, so which I'm trying to get there. So I'm marking 2 inches all the way, right? So I'm going to connect the 2 inches by sketching it out, and then after doing that, I will measure it to know what I have. So all I needed is 4 inches. So I want to check out if what I have over there is 4 inches. By the time I place my rule, I found out that it's not up to. So I reposition the tape rule rather, and then connect it to have the 4 inches which I needed to make up 20 inches by the time everything is opened up. Okay, so this is the new line. So at first, like in measuring it now, you just measure 2.2 inches. Then when you are getting to the center, you can extend it by ½ inch, which is 2.5, so that you get it accurately well. Okay, so I have the upper part of the neck, and at the end, after measuring it, I have the 4 inches I desired. Okay, so by the time it's open, that will be 20 inches. Coming down to the down part, which was what was measured on the dress. Okay, so I'm going to mark out 3 inches all the way. This has to do, the sewing allowance is included. the sewing on the neck or to the lining is included, and what we'll use in joining it to the neck too is included. So I'm just going to mark it all the way round like so. So over there I'm marking 3 inches. So after that has been done, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. So we'll go ahead now, use the pattern to cut our fabric. I've also folded the fabric into 4 like in a peplum way, right? Just like we did to the pattern. I'll go ahead and press iron it for it to rest well and for us to cut it accurately. And then place the pattern on it to cut it out. I will also go ahead and do the same for the lining. I cut the same for the lining, but this time around for the lining, after cutting it, I didn't cut the upper part of it. So I will just place the main fabric on it like so. Okay, so I'll cut the center and then place the main fabric on it like so. You can see that I didn't cut the center, the upper part of the lining. So I'll place it like this on it and then sew it around. Okay guys, so after joining it, this is the way we have it. After I had finished sewing it, that is when I now cut out the center of the lining like so. All right, so I'll go ahead now and notch the center. After notching it, I'll go ahead and press iron it well so that it will rest well on what we are fixing it on. Now guys, we'll go ahead and fix the collar to the dress. Okay, so while ironing it, I make sure I iron the center out. So we have the center of the collar, and then I will notch the center of the dress also and start the fixing from there. So I'm fixing the lining and the main fabric separately. So I'm going to pin it all the way around. So I mean the Mikado part of the collar, I fix it to the main dress and went ahead to fix it on the machine. After fixing it, I also went ahead and pinned the lining part of it to cover up this initial sewing. You can see the way it is. So now I'm going to just stop stitch on from the front, and I've done that, and that's why I'm removing the pin. So we have it neatly fixed, as you can see. The next thing we are going to do now is remove all the pins, right? And then we'll go ahead and fix the zip. So you won't fix the sleeve until you have fixed the collar. You see the way the collar came out neatly well, right? So we'll go ahead now and fix the lining. That's the front area. I'm loving the way the whole thing is coming out already. Guys, if you have stayed to this time watching this tutorial, it's an assurance for me that you got value watching it. Kindly give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friend, like it, and even if you have a question, feel free to ask me. So I've gone ahead to fix the zip, and this is the way it is. All I will do now is fix the whole dress together, and we have it. Now for the sleeve, I've gone ahead to cut the sleeve. It's actually a balloon sleeve, right? I couldn't cover that while cutting, right? So but I've gone ahead to sew it. The liner has been fixed to it, and then the down area I will use is a puffy balloon sleeve. Okay, so I'm just going to cut the elastic, right? And that is 6 inches. I'm going to cut 6 inches in 2 places, right? I'll then use my pin, the safety pin over there, to fix it to the sleeve. Okay, so after fixing it to the sleeve, this is the way it came out. I then went ahead and fixed the sleeves to the dress, and guys, the whole thing came out beautifully well. You can see the down part, the upper part, the center part, and then the neck area, even the collar, everything came out neatly well. The only process that was not shown here is the process of beading the fabric. But if it's something you would love to learn, please let me know in the comment section. But today we have come to the end of this tutorial. Thank you all for staying tuned. Bye bye, and see you in my next tutorial. Bye.